Alright, what up world? Hemingway checking in, and we are back with another video. Y'all already know how it's going down. Before we get started, please make sure you take a second, stop, pause, subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't already. Make sure you ring the notification bell so you'll get all the notifications for all the videos I have coming out later this week. And we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing. I done got tongue twisted trying to do my intro, but we're gonna get into this thing. Today, man, I want to talk about kids in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 90s baby, so the way kids in hip hop, kid artists in hip hop, or child stars in hip hop look then when I was a kid versus now, completely different. And I just want to preface this by saying my goal is to eventually get monetized and, start getting a little bread off my videos. But YouTube got some guidelines with, cursing, when you curse, whatever. This video probably ain't gonna make the cut, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm sick of this shit. Like, usually the last couple videos I did, I've been a little tired. I've been a little, my energy been a little low. We gonna talk about it today, man. Like, I grew up on the era with the Bow Wows, the Little Romeos, just the first wave of littles. Bow Wow, Lil Romeo, Lil Wayne, Lil Sammy, Lil Corey. Like, these are singers and rappers, but that first era of Lils, and the singers were singing about love songs. Some of them, to a degree, might have been a little bit more mature than their actual age, but still, all in all, love songs. The rappers was rapping about, outside, of course, of Lil Wayne, who's a particular artist in the era that grew up, like really young and was speaking on mature content and like what the grown-ups and the older kids around him in Cash Money Click they was talking about. So outside of him though, the Lil Bow Wows, Lil Romeos, and a lot of the other littles that came up in the early 2000s, like they were rapping about kid shit. They were rapping and singing about kid shit. Love, school, happiness, playing basketball, shit like that. Now, we have what I consider, the children of the trap. Like, bro, even in the songs that the Romeos and Bow Wows was rapping about, there was some things that they were saying that might have been a bit of a facade, but it just wasn't street level shit or whatever. It probably wasn't true, but it was just part of the thing. Cool, that's music to a degree, or at least that's what it's come to be, especially in hip hop. But with these kids in this new era, if you don't know, there's a kid, I think his name is Lil RT, and he's currently going viral right now. 9 years old. The song is 60 Mile. I first seen him like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago or whatever, but he one of those like open mic type videos. I saw it and I was like, man, stack of money, rapping, saying what he's saying. Listen to a couple seconds because it looked like it was gonna be crazy. And then I guess he shot an official video to the song attached to one of Future's artists, and I think Buddy did a feature for him. And I know he did a feature for him. That's why he's in the video. And it's like, okay, I understand that when we are born, we are dealt the cards that we are dealt. You can't pick where you're gonna be, who your parents are, where you're born at, whatever. None of that. Some kids actually grow up in a certain lifestyle. We're not talking about those kids. Some kids actually do the things that they're saying on these tracks. Like, for instance, we had TK, 2017 or so. I think he was 17 at the time. He was a little older than the kids that age range I'm talking about, but like, he was more than likely already living how he was living and getting into that type of stuff the prior years, and he actually ended up paying the price for the lifestyle he was living. But he was actually in that. Clearly we see that that's public record. He was involved in that type of stuff. We're not talking about those kids. I'm talking about the kids that we know for a fact, like, none of this is happening. Not saying they ain't having little troubles or whatever, but like, none of this is happening. And particularly for me, between the ages of, we can go ahead and say 9, but between 9 and 14, 10 and 14, those are the years where stuff shifts for kids. So I really would say between 10 and 14, those 4 years right there, depending on what you was doing, 7, 8, 9, and who you was around or where you was living, whatever, by the time you hit 10, you're gonna start, if you weren't already, you're gonna start implementing things, changing. You might have different friends, whatever. And that's kind of when you gain somewhat of your identity, whatever is gonna be going into middle school, high school, stuff like that. So a lot of these kids, they do start to shift. They were just joyful little kids at 9 years old, and then 10 and 11 hit, and they start getting exposed to different stuff or whatever. And they might start doing some of the things you hear some of these kids rap about. I mean, personally, I don't believe Lil Dude's doing none of that stuff he's saying, especially not on no taking a car 60 miles, whatever. We ain't even gotta get into the lyrics. But it's like, to the kids that really are authentic, I understand how that's gonna reach certain kids who are authentically living that lifestyle. Just like the grown-ups who are authentic is gonna reach grown-ass men that's actually living that lifestyle or understand what that is. But a lot of this stuff now, outside of that kid, it's another little kid. I just did a search because I typed in 9-year-old rapper, watched the video or whatever, and I was trying to see what else popped up. It's a little kid named Lil 50, and then it's another. He's like I think he was like 12, and then it's another little. It's 2 or 3 other little kids that popped up, all rapping about the same stuff, sliding and drilling and ops and running from the cops, and it's like, bro, stop. Like, I thought the whole point was that we weren't going to endorse cap rap. Now, to a degree, there's always been this conversation about whether or not people are lying in their raps and whether or not that's okay. The comparison of music to movies, right? Because movies are fake too. There's a storyline. It's a there's some fabrication going on there. It's usually all fiction. So music can be fiction, theme songs, soundtracks, stuff like that. But music is also, and more commonly, going to be a reflection of an experience or whatever, feelings, stuff like that. Going to be a reflection of life, whatever that lifestyle is. I just think that, like, back in the day, there were people around these kids that, even if those kids, some of the kids that were actually got one-hit wonders and got singles and got money and we knew them for making music, they actually had a fucked up lifestyle. But the people around them were trying to make sure that they were doing more positive shit. I don't think endorsing a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kid is going to help him in the long run. And I think overall, it's like, it's this whole gap in the hip hop community right now, in the music space, of kids that are actually kids making kid music. Now, I'm not gonna make this video and not actually point out some of the kids that I do know are making positive music. Like we know the Nickelodeon show Young Dylan. That was a kid. I think that show was some years ago now, but he's still making music, rapping. Positive image for the most part. Not even for the most part. Positive image. He's a Nickelodeon kid. So, but that one in particular, with the Nickelodeon attachment, he comes from a show, so it's a little different of an appeal. But outside of that, the most positive song that's probably went popping, that's gotten major popularity also with adults in the last, I'd say, 5 years at least, was Gracie's Corner. That's actually kid music and learning music and stuff like that, more so nursery rhyme type music for kids to learn from. But the way that they approached it, he actually has, they got dope beats and dope raps. Now that's for like babies, you know what I'm saying? I'm more so talking about actual kids who can, do stuff on their own. But with that being said, there's a little kid, Super Saiya, kid named Young TGE. I think he's also 9. Super Saiya's like 9 or 10. He might be younger than that. And then there's Lele, who was also popping, like, it's 2023 now. I think she started getting popularity like 2015, 16. So she's been around for a little bit now. And I think it's okay that if kids, especially from that age range, 9 to 14, 15, really 9 to 14. If you're making kid-like music with a positive image, but then you hit, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the image changes a little bit, that's natural and it actually makes sense. But it's hard for people to believe that kids are really doing all this drilling and op killing that we got them talking about and all this money getting and stuff like that. There are some young dudes, again, that we understand live the lifestyle, but I don't understand the adults who let kids that, even though they might live in a hood or their parents might be in the streets or whatever, you actually let them get on the mic and record tracks like this. That's not going to benefit them in the future. If anything, it's going to take them further down that road. They have to really further identify with that lifestyle they've now put out there into the atmosphere, and on record and on video. And it's crazy. Like, I don't understand it, man. But I haven't asked a question so far in the video, and my main question is, like, do you think it's over for the kids in hip hop? Like, do you think we can turn it around? You think it's gonna be a phase where, like, none of these kids are really making music? Like, I really want to know what people think about kids making music going forward, because there's already this narrative that hip hop is dying. I think this is the first time that, with hip hop being predominantly street music and that always being pushed to the mainstream, this is the first time in a long time I feel like the street music, the more hard stuff, trap music and all that drill music, I think is going to go back underground, and more so positive stuff is going to come back to the mainstream to a degree. Again, it's just part of the cycle. And when that happens, I think we'll start to see more kids making positive music and stuff like that. But right now, like, it's got to get to that point to where the people are tired of the same old stuff, because the lifestyle's not relatable for everybody. It's okay for a fraction of the, the music, the hip hop community, you live like this, you live like this, you live like this, but it's almost like it's just one big mesh right now. And again, all the great stuff, all the real creative stuff, all the people you don't know about, they're on the internet. There's music out there. But what we see, what goes viral, what gets pushed to the mainstream, it's usually the shit like this that I gotta come here and talk about. Like, man, these damn kids, y'all got these kids out here looking crazy, man. It's not gonna help them in the future. But look, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about? I don't even really know what the question is. I think I just wanted to talk today, but yeah, what do y'all think about the future of kids in hip hop? Like, do y'all think we gonna ever get back to a phase of having like positive, popular kids? The superstar era is kind of over due to that. I ain't gonna say it's over, but it's hard to be like a Bow Wow superstar, like in this era. But you can still be a very, very, very popular kid. And I want to know if anybody thinks we'll ever get to the point where we see a very, very popular, positive artist again after these next few years. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if there's any other topics y'all think that I should talk about. Comment them down below. Until next time, I go by the name of Hemingway. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the page. I'm out.